look around and I realize God left this place a long time ago.
I gave seminars on manipulation. I could reach into a man's soul and unravel it with one tug. Cool. Hit me. You're bull.
So are you?
I'll kill you, you...
You're wearing protective goggles to destroy my car? Safety first!
It's the Al Travis Show, and we've got Senator John Hoffman coming up here in a matter of moments. He's already texted. He's on his way. Let me lay the groundwork, if you will, set the table. One-day special session is scheduled to begin today. It started at 10 o'clock. Before that, the Capital Investment Work Group was meeting at 8. I know that some of the caucuses were getting together to say, hey, here's what's going on. Here's how we got this thing to, to the point that it is at. But we're going to need a couple of things, is what they say. In order for them to get done by Tuesday morning, they have to get 13 bills passed. In order to accomplish that, the rules and the Minnesota Constitution are going to have to be suspended when it comes to how this works over the weekend, over special session. And they're going to need a super majority to get that by. So you need like 60%, right? You got to have a super majority to say, okay, we'll suspend the idea that I can't just throw out appropriations, whatever it is. That agreement also states that no amendments will be permitted on any of the bills unless they are agreed upon by the 4 leaders and the governor. So I don't even know the process when you do this, that if you're hearing a bill and they're going through the bill and you think, hey, this would make this bill better, do you run up to your majority leader and say, hey, this is the thing, and I could get this by, and I don't know how this is all going to work. According to the Daily Agenda, if you get it, go to thedailyagenda.com and sign up for it. The big sticking point is going to be the very first vote. There are a lot of tough votes coming up here today. But the very first one, whether they'll suspend those rules or not, if that doesn't pass, they probably don't get done by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You got to have a majority, and you got to have a super majority, and you got to have enough people say, yeah, I get it, I don't care, I just want to get out of here. Or you get a group that says, no, if we're going to do this, let's do it, I say the right way, that's probably leading the witness. Let's do it this way. We can add amendments. We can do whatever. The governor calls a special session. It happens at 10. He doesn't get to turn us down. We can go until we want to be done. That's going to be a very, very, very interesting deal. The other thing, there are big parts of bills that we can discuss, and I want to talk with Hoffman when he gets here, Senator Hoffman. One of the weirder ones was the $93 million. And you're like, 93, why haven't I heard this? Basically what they're saying, there's a provision in the transportation bill, which evidently they figured out yesterday. I think that means it's going to be pulled out. We will see. But all of a sudden comes up in the transportation bill, $93 million that would go from counties straight to the Met Council. And, obviously everybody's got their nose in this game saying, what's going on? And someone said, wait a minute. Why would all these counties give up this money for the Met Council? And it showed up and over. It evidently was not, went through the regular order of business to get there. They found it. Enough people said, no way. They evidently, I'm under the impression the governor wanted this thing in there, but it's gone. So we'll see if that does anything, if anybody tries to put that back in there, or even if they can. Other bills that we'll talk about John with. When we started the session, remember? And then that even started 3 weeks late. It's been a year, hasn't it? There are 3 things that seem to be the holdups. Minnesota Care for illegal immigrants. The Republicans are very upset when they put that in there 2 years ago when the Democrats had the trifecta. They put it in and said, the CBO, whoever, said, that will take about 5,000 people will sign up for this thing. Well, it's about, 2-3 times that now. I think they're almost at 20,000. So this bill will skyrocket. Say they haven't yet. Well, it's insurance. It goes up because the number of people that have it, then you get sick and you use it. But now they're looking, that's a $200 million deal. The Republicans said, we got to get rid of that. If we're going to cut stuff, that's where we start. The Democrats obviously having a problem, if you remember. Governor's announcing in front of just about all the management staff, all the management people, that we've come to terms. Everybody gave up a little something. No one got everything they wanted. And you heard the doors banging in the background. And it wasn't Republicans. It was fellow Democrats who are very upset about this bill itself. The moderated version of this, and what looks like if they pass, they'll pass, is that grown adult illegal immigrants, that would pull back. They would not get it. Youth, people under, I presume it's 18, they would continue to get Minnesota care. So kind of a compromise there. Speaker of the House, Damath, said out loud, no new taxes. She was not going to have new taxes. It would look, as far as I can tell, the only new taxes are an increase in taxes, not a small one, from 10 to 15%, a 50% increase in taxes on cannabis. Interesting thing about that is because it hasn't even got running, I don't think anybody is all that upset about it except the cannabis people who now say if you tax it too much, then you're right back to putting the black market involved, which we were trying to get rid of because guess what? You can buy it from Bob. Over here, he doesn't charge me 15%. It'll be interesting to see. And then the other one was unemployment insurance for those making hourly wages for schools and that sort of thing. That was going to be a sticking point. I don't know where that ended up. It sounds like the compromise, those folks can keep that for 2 more years, but then it goes away. And I believe how that works. We've got him. Senator John Hoffman, his computer is muted, but I'm sure he'll fix that for me in a matter of moments. How are you, sir?
If I be doing any better, I'll be you. But it's funny. I left an hour ago to get here. And I'm thinking, all right, here I go. 694. All of a sudden, and then I'm stopped. It's like snow day, man. And then so I go down. And then, wait. So I take the Cayuga exit. Then I get up. And then all of a sudden, there's a bridge that's out that crosses the Cayuga that gets across to Jackson, which gets you on the Capitol Hill area. And so I had to reroute myself.
I don't know why anybody lives up there, John. I'm going to be honest with it. The driving of the traffic up there drives me insane. Insane.
That's why I keep a bottle of Walgreens ibuprofen at all times. Not that payola to Walgreens for the ibuprofen, but when you have a headache, Walgreens ibuprofen does its finest for you.
We have 2 bottles of that in my house. Literally, you get it in the 2-pack. It's like they pay you to take it. All right. You are instrumental in what's going on here, besides the stuff we already talked about, and I'll bring it up in a minute. When I look at the 13 bills that you guys have to dawdle over today and get it done with this special session, I see Health and Human Services Policy and Appropriations Bill, Children and Families, also the Human Services Appropriations Bill. Is this a done deal? Can you get over the finish line and tell me how that went? Didn't you have to cut like $700 million?
$300 million the first 2 years, $800 million in the tails. Look. So you remember the governor started at 1.5, the House at 1.3. We were at 100 million, and so they said, at the end of the day, it was 300 million and 800 million. We're gonna get across the finish. The human services. I was on a TV show yesterday morning.
Does it have a name?
It's called Ad Issue. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Tom Hauser's show on, I don't think you guys get KSTP5 down there. You might.
We do. We got cable. I got channels I haven't even looked at yet. Boom, 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 boom.
Do you watch the Disney Channel?
I have.
Do you ever watch the Taylor Swift channel at all?
No, we just talked about this with Jack Zimmerman. The woman made $250 million selling a movie about her concerts, which she made $1 billion in. I mean, good God.
Isn't that amazing? Somebody just tells you, I just had to do it. I just had to get that in there. But
go ahead.
But when you look at that, we're gonna get the bill across the finish line. And like I said to Hauser, we didn't require mediation. We didn't require people to come in to check on us every 20 minutes how we were doing. We didn't require. We actually left our egos in the hallway, and we included everybody. I mean, Senator Abler in the show yesterday said, all the conferees were always invited. People were invited to come in and especially their expertise or where their passion was, and that's what we really relied on, Al. I mean, because we're talking about people here. We're not talking about
Minnesota Care under would that be in the Health and Human Services bill?
Yeah,
it is. So where did the compromise come with illegal immigrants getting health care? Am I right when saying that it looks like adults will not, but children will? Is that how does it work in the final bill?
First of all, I personally hate that word illegal, right? I just do it because what? If your family, my family came here from Russia, right? My family came here from Russia. My other family, my other mom's side, they came through Scotland, right? And it's just like, okay, if there's some people that are kids that are dreamers or whatever, but anyway, I'm not going to tell you how to talk, but I just am like, first of all, a people's a people of people. And here's what people don't get. If the health insurance to those individuals, guess where they're going to get their primary care from, Al?
Well, that's it. Yes, if we continue to, how do I put this?
Hi,
You don't have to call them illegals. You don't have to call them illegals. Let's go down this road real quick. Undocumented folks that are here that didn't do it in any of the ways we asked them to do. You can get a student visa to come here. You can get a work visa to come here, a green card or whatever it is. You can come here on whatever. We have ways. Regular immigration where we have 1 million of them a year. So these are people that don't fit any of those, John, right? They don't fit any of those categories, or they'd have their quote-unquote paperwork. Okay. So call them whatever you want to call them. Does Al owe them health insurance?
Al does not owe them health insurance, but here's what Al...
But that's the big but.
The dilemma, there's a big but here. When somebody gets sick and they have no place to go, where do they go?
Home?
No, where do they go? They go to...
Well, you're going to tell me I'm going to save money by giving them free health insurance. This is the brilliance of...
No, I'm not going to say that, Al. You're going to end up...
Well, what do you...
how dumb people are sometimes. You're going to end up paying for this, because...
Unless we send them home.
Well, that's a whole different issue. I'm talking about specifically right now. The argument that I'm articulating is the fact
I understand.
You have a hospital, and a hospital is used for what? For emergencies, right? Or for if you have a thing. So what ends up happening is you're going to see a spike in the increase in hospitals being used for primary care, which is a cost. It's a cost.
I love you, John. You were late. We're going to run late. I'm going to say this. This is kind of like, but don't worry about it. You're going to save money. We decided when you put that in there 2 years ago, what, about 5,000 people would use it? And 20,000 have now signed up? I'm saving myself right into bankruptcy. That's where I'm at. I got to go to break. I don't mean to cut you off, but we're way late because you were late. Back right after this more often.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
You don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on The Al Travis Show.
We've got him, Senator John Hoffman. 2 quick comments. You can answer them any way you want. One is, if you're following us on the Facebook, on the YouTube, you'll see that he's packed a bag. It looks like he's got a suitcase over his right shoulder, so I presume he's spending the night. And 2, do you feel hurt when your wife posts pictures of the burnt pizza you made for dinner yesterday? Yes, I saw that online. Sir, handle either one in.
She did not. She did not.
Yeah, you don't follow her on Facebook? This is what happens when I put my senator husband in charge of dinner and it was a burnt pizza.
Oh
I felt so bad for you, because if that would happen, the internet would only be full of stuff I'd burnt, if that's what we're allowed to do.
She used to make fun. Like, one time, years ago when she was in radio and television, Al, I was installing a glass partition in a shower, in a big shower, right? And I was, instead of being on the outside, I was on the inside. So I basically locked myself in the shower because, the glass closure there. And I'm sitting there, I'm calling her name out, right? And I'm saying, help, I need help. What do you mean you need help? And I said, I need you to come open the door. And she's like, what? And she was downstairs with a bunch of friends of hers, right? And she said, what do you, and I said, I locked myself in the shower. And I said this, right? She and all of her friends come upstairs. And back then we had real cameras, right?
Yes.
Standing out there laughing, and she's taking pictures of me stuck behind this glass. Well, guess what? Monday morning show comes around for her morning radio show, which she had a 21 share, by the way. You get a 21 share in a market that's in the
You're rocking it.
You're rocking it. And sure enough, opens up with me. I had no idea. I go to work, and all my friends are laughing at me at work because I'm like, what the hell's so funny? He said, hey, man, I got a plumbing project for you. Want to come do a plumbing project for me? So then people were making fun of me.
It's not
that
easy.
Surprised me that, I freaking went downstairs and I didn't hear the
buzzer
ding ding, and I come upstairs and she's in the kitchen, right? You think she would have taken the pizza out? No, I had to go, and I go, oh crap. And I said, here, I'll cut off this section. I'll eat the burnt stuff. And then I didn't know she took a picture. That's funny. So
I was laughing out loud thinking all the stuff you got to go. You got this guy trying to cut $700-800 million out of a budget. He may be working overnight long tonight, and she's going to rip you for burning the pizza. It's like
burning the pizza. I got in trouble for burning the pizza. I'll take that, Al. I absolutely will take that. So
do you guys get done, John Senator? Is this going to get done in the next 13 hours, whatever it is, by 7:00 tomorrow morning?
No, we're not going to get done by we must. It says we're going to must get done, but how do you?
You've been musting up for a month now. Must on Wednesday, must on Tuesday.
You must. I was like, okay, we must be done. Here's the thing: governor gets to call a special session. It's the legislators who decide when the special session ends. I think we can get there, Al. There's a probable chance that it can be. You'll know the first 2 bills that are up in the House or the other body. If they turn that into a speechification time, and because you're gonna, I would be like, this will be great moments of people's comments that you should just capture and say, did he really just said that? You'll know.
Well, that would, just so folks know, that would be the Minnesota Care we are talking about, and also Health and Human Services Policy and Appropriations Bill. Those are the 2. Let me ask you this, and I only have a minute. Yeah. I didn't know data centers were an issue. Why are we against data centers or for data centers? All of a sudden, that came up like yesterday as an issue. Do I know where I stand on data centers?
Well, it pays it pays prevailing wage. It does.
I like that.
Union jobs, so they're assuring
that
their unions are going to do that. It's going to be sustainability. Data centers want to be in Minnesota because of our cold weather and because of what?
Cheap energy.
Water.
Yeah.
Water. And so the folks that are concerned about the water quality and the how that water is used, that's where it became the rough. And I think people have gotten their points in, and
is that going to pass? Do we get them or not? I don't know enough about it. It's not like a nuclear power plant. As I understand, the water cools the place down because they get so hot with all the electricity. I don't think we've ruined the water. Are we okay with it or not? I don't know where I stand on data centers. I don't even put my pictures on the cloud. If you want to know the truth, it scares the heck out of me.
We're okay with data centers, Alex.
Okay.
Some people gonna get there. That's funny. And like the water, the nuclear, the water from a nuclear. It's you can actually drink that water, Al. That's
my point. Is when you say we're all worried about what they're going to do. They're not burning it up. They're not putting anything in it. As I understand, it's a cooling technique. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Again, I'm the worst guy because I don't even put my pictures on the cloud. I don't want other people to have them, and I don't know why.
So my wife's old morning show partner called me the other day, right? His name's Lee Martin, right? And this years ago, and he worked for, I don't know, he worked for the Department of Defense.
You got 30 seconds, buddy.
Anyway, he's the one who set us up on the internet the first time, and it was a 300 baud modem. Then went, and that's all.
We all had kids appreciate what they have. We should give them all those modems for just a week. See how they put up with it. Senator Hoffman, I appreciate you doing our work and being a part of this. And good luck tonight. And I hope you brought your pillow. It's going to be a long night.
It's going to be a long night. Bye, Al. Good talking to you.
Senator John Hoffman on the Al Travis Show.